Just say it.
Hola, buenos dias.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
This is Barb.
This is Estela.
And welcome to
Cafecito
and Crime. So today is a very special day. This is our first ever sponsorship for our coffee. So yay! Insert claps. Yeah. So our very awesome follower on Instagram and listener, Miss Rochelle from Bougie Boutique, contacted us a few weeks ago. Not a few, maybe two, saying that she wanted to sponsor our coffee because she loved us.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate that.
Truly.
Like, we were like shocked.
You're like, ¿Qué?
¿Qué es esto? I was like, is this legit?
Yeah,
and
it really was. I was like, dude, I don't know. But
No.
yeah, she's super sweet.
Yeah, thank you so much. She always is very active on the Instagram account. We appreciate you very much. And you did not have to do this, but we do appreciate it. I got a latte from the little stand that we go to. I got their, what is it, like their Valentine's Day latte theme?
Yeah, for the months.
It was called Be Mine. So that's what I got. It's like chocolate with like coconut and all kinds of stuff. And Estela, she basic.
Yeah, basic. I just get, I like their Parisian latte. So that's my favorite.
So it was really good. And we really appreciate her. And
we got largest.
And we got largest this time because we were like, we can afford largest. We're probably going to have another sponsorship next week as well. And we did try to buy local. That way we can support
local
as well.
business.
So thank you so much for Ms. Rochelle.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Thank you. So today our episode is going to be brought by
me,
Estela. Oh yeah, another thing is I did update our Christmas
me and
tree.
Barbie decidimos que our little Christmas tree, not that anybody gives a shit, but I mean, we do what we want here. It's our podcast.
Yeah.
We decided que el little Christmas tree que está bien grandototototote.
It's huge.
It's just going to stay on the desk and then we'll just decorate it as
we go. Right now I did decorate it for Valentine's. So it has hearts and little cups of coffee and stuff.
It's not February just yet, but
no, but I mean,
just
everything's already out.
You have to get ahead of the game.
Yeah, ya se acabó casi January. Last week was really hard for us here in Houston, or 2 weeks. Yeah, well, I don't know when this is coming out. Coming up.
Yeah,
so
last a couple
of weeks ago, it was really hard because we had a storm come through, and which we don't. It's January, so
it rains in Houston all the time. Like we get it, pero a fucking tornado.
More than one, multiple tornadoes.
Real ones. Because I know
an actual fucking tornado. Because we get like tornado warnings.
But nadie le pone atención.
No, porque nunca pasa. It's always like a hurricane.
Like the smallest one that can possibly be, I think it's like EF0 or something.
Yeah, like a 1 or whatever. I don't know how they work. But
y siempre pasa y no hace nada. Nomás se lleva like un trampoline or whatever. Pero no, like this time it was, I think, a 3rd level.
Oh, really? A
severe.
3? Is that what they said? Oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't even know.
I was like...
I couldn't believe it. I was at home with my child and my husband was here. We were all bunker. Like I literally busted out the restroom like Dallas style. Like I'm like, I'm not playing this shit. Because we don't have, I don't know if anybody lives here as well, but we don't have like sirens.
Because I mean, they don't happen here.
Because we don't have that. So then you just are kind of in a prayer and like, a ver si viene, a ver si no me lleva la verga.
Because they were like, no, really, like tornado warnings.
Like really, it's about to hit. And they actually had a tornado chaser out there. Like it was a big thing. But then the kids were about to come out of school at that time, so people were picking their kids up.
It was like around 2
It was like 2:30,
2:33.
Yeah. So I mean, and I'm so sorry for anybody out there that is listening. Because a lot of people
a lot of damage.
So I hope that our podcast will give you a little bit of enjoyment for a little bit. But
I know it's hard.
It's been kind of
está frío, like it's cold outside.
Yeah, it's cold. I know one of my friends, she didn't have light for a while. Yeah. And she's like, I'm freezing at night. She's like, I can't sleep. And I'm like, well, I mean, do you want to come stay? She didn't want to come. But anyway, point of the story is like it's cold. So we're so sorry for that as well. But let's go ahead and Estela's going to get started on her case.
So, everyone, grab your cafecitos.
And let's get started.
Cheers.
Cheers. Clink. Stupid. Why do we clink it? Porque no se oye. Pero this is really good. Like, está chido, for real.
Okay, so for today's case, we're going to Albuquerque, Nuevo Mexico. And I'm going to say random fact because I don't think anybody cares, but I'm just going to tell you anyway.
No, I'm like, we do need to find a name for it. Is it a random fact? Is it a fun fact? Do we want to say...
Maybe we could like abbreviate it into like something that is like random, interesting, fun. Like just
whatever.
Anyways.
Random, interesting, fun fact.
Yeah, there you go.
All of it.
Yeah. The random, interesting, fun fact about Albuquerque, it's that it is considered the highest elevated metropolitan city in the U.S.
Okay.
I never even considered it. I always just thought it was Denver.
I never even... You know what? I'm going to tell you the truth, Estela. I didn't even think about that shit. I don't know what you're talking about. I never even...
You know, because when you're like, they always say, you know, it's always so high up. That's why, like, sometimes people get sick or whatever because the altitude's so high.
Yeah. Yeah, I can make sense. That makes sense. That's crazy. Yeah. I had no idea. Albuquerque.
Yeah. Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Wow, interesting.
Not Denver.
Okay. Mm-hmm. When I hear New Mexico, I think aliens. I know.
Yeah, no, I know. Roswell, New Mexico.
I'm sorry, I do.
Albuquerque's elevation ranges from 4,900 to 6,700 feet high up, while Denver's ranges from 5,130 to 5,690 feet
Dude,
elevation.
That's like more than almost 2,000 feet of elevation. That's like a lot of a difference,
and
right?
we're all the way down in the bunkers below sea level and shit.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's why we always fucking flood.
Yeah, that's why we're always fucking flooding. Yeah, it's okay.
Anyway, so that's
interesting.
It's Albuquerque.
That's actually an interesting, fun, random fact.
No, I think it was random, interesting fact.
Okay.
No, random, interesting, fun fact.
Random answer for fact.
Yeah.
Oh,
random,
God.
interesting, fun fact.
That's a okay. That was awesome. Yeah. Okay.
So it's Albuquerque, not Denver.
Okay. Got it.
Metropolitan city.
Don't forget. Cafecito and Crime listeners.
Cafecito and Crimers.
Cafecito and Crime Crimers. Do not forget that is Albuquerque, not Denver. Get it right.
Yeah, please.
Get it right or get it tight. Whatever. Get it right. Don't say that because we're going to get in trouble.
Okay, sorry.
Singing. Yeah, that's how you have me now. I'm like scared of everything.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the case of Brittani Marcell. And I don't have a birthday for her, but it kind of reminded me of Brittany Drexel. You know, I think we were around the same age because she's 17 in 2008 at the time of today's case.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 17 in 2008. Yeah. So now it's insane that it would take this long for her to get some sort of justice for whatever happened to her. And for a long while, it just seemed like it was never going to come.
I don't know why.
And her life had like changed for the rest of her life. Like she was... You
know, we talk about a lot of cases on our podcast, but... For some reason, the face of the Brittany Drexel's, the guy that actually did it, like his head,
el pelón?
For some reason,
that shot, that
mug shot of it. I don't know why. That's something I always remember. Like every time we talk about that,
creepy.
Like I don't know why. I don't know if it's maybe just the fact that he's
bald.
But
you can see it in his eyes, like they're just so empty.
Yeah. So I'm like,
I don't know, with his evil eyes and then his bald head.
And then like something about people that have bald head. I have a thing about people with bald heads and their ears being weird. I don't know.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I know it's stupid, but you know, his ears were kind of like
out,
like weird. So I don't know why I remember that every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
When you think about her.
I think about her. Pobrecita. Just to think that that's the last thing you saw before you died.
That ugly ass man.
That ugly ass fucking man.
Gross.
Fucking disgusting.
Anyway, so in 2008, Brittani Marcell was a 17-year-old high school student attending Cibola High School and was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So the Marcell siblings consisted of 6 sisters, and Brittany was number 5. And then they also had a brother. He was the youngest one. So eran 7. 7 kids. Diane is their mom, and she was a stay-at-home mom. And the dad, I'm not really sure what his name is, but he wasn't really mentioned a lot in the research, but he was a truck driver, and he was always out on the road. Her parents ended up separating. Like the dad was always gone de todos modos. And then there was like domestic violence involved. He was abusive towards Diane. So she removed herself and the kids from the situation, and she got herself a job as a teller at a bank and made things work for her and her children. The ones that were still with her, because some of the older girls had already like gotten married and like moved out and stuff like that. So Brittany was described as a bubbly girl. She was really outgoing. She had her friends. She was always smiling. Like she had like the prettiest smile. And you'll see her pictures. Te las enseño. She was also también very disciplined. She was hardworking and driven. And she was like really going at it in school, like hardcore. She was on track to graduate a year early from high school.
Wow, she was very intelligent. That's awesome.
Y she wanted to go to college porque she really wanted to go and study journalism. Like that was her dream.
As she should.
As she should, yeah. So during her junior year, so she must have been like, what, 16 maybe, turning 17?
I mean, yeah, because she was a year earlier. Yeah. So, yeah.
She hit a rough patch. She started being like rebellious, you know.
It sounds like a lot like
Brittany, teenager shit, you know?
Yeah, teenager shit.
So obviously, so mom's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? And her mom was just not having it. And things got like so tense. I don't want to say bad, but so tense that Brittany ended up moving out to vivir con su papá.
Okay. I mean, I've been a young teenager, but I guess Mexicans are not Mexicans, but Hispanic people were a little bit different. I couldn't, like my mom was law. You know, we couldn't be like, I'm leaving. She'd be like, girl?
De las greñas.
Where do you think you're going, girl? Like, you know, like, no, you're not going to do that to me. But a lot of people I've heard, I think when I was younger, I would hear some of my friends that would kind of like move in with their dads and shit. I didn't have that.
Yeah, well, your dad was somewhere else.
But anyway, but yeah.
And her dad was gone because her dad was a truck driver.
That's what I'm saying. So, like he was out.
So he was out on the road. Y estaba solo en la casa, which that's what she wanted.
Ay, Dios mío. Te digo.
At the time of today's case events, Brittany was working at the mall at a sunglasses kiosk.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're the ones that have the fakey ones.
I don't know if they're fake. Chidos. I don't know if they were
fake.
No,
they're ¿cómo se llaman? They're not fake. They're inspired, which I love that. Don't get me wrong. I think they're inspired by. Yeah, they're so cool. I think they're so awesome. Anybody that sells inspired by things, I think is cool. Because no, for real, like if you can get something that looks the same for a lot cheaper, yes, girl, work. Nobody knows. Shit, I'm that's the way I see it.
And on September 11th, 2008, Brittany was going to go home and meet her mom for lunch, you know? Right before noon. Like, she was like, I'm going to go on my lunch break. I'm going to go home and meet my mom. And they were going to discuss Brittany moving back in con ella.
Okay, so at this point, Brittany is like, you know what? Yeah, tengo mucho aquí. Maybe I want to go back with my mom.
Yeah, maybe like, oh, it's not really all it's cracked up to be being on your own. She's like, I want to go. Maybe, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
So Diane también left her job at the bank. She was driving on her way home. So she gets to her house, gets to the front door, opens her door and immediately sees Brittany's red sunglasses on the floor, like ahí en la entrada. She thought it was weird and was like, huh. And then, you know.
Maybe she thought she dropped them or something. She dropped them on the way in. And they're red sunglasses.
Yeah, red sunglasses.
So you could see them.
Yeah, like resaltan. And so she walks in a little bit more and on the floor she sees Brittany.
What?
And she's just fucking like bleeding.
Oh my God.
Bleeding everywhere. Por donde, todas partes. And then standing over Brittany was a man holding a shovel.
Just shut the fuck up.
Yes.
So the man was inside of the house.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So the man sees Diane. Diane sees the man. So this guy drops his shovel, makes his way through the living room into the kitchen.
Yeah.
Grabs a butcher's knife and then turns around and looks at Diane y le dice, "You're next."
What the fuck? Was he wearing a ski mask?
No.
Or he was just a man?
A man. So Diane, she was still, estaba cerca de la puerta todavía. You know, she was close to her entrance. So
she probably just
ran.
Froze, yeah.
She ran. She said she ran out. She ran out screaming and yelling for help. And there was someone who was passing by. I don't know if it was a neighbor or I don't know if he was walking or in a car or whatever, but he stops and you know, asks if she needs help. Diane le dice, somebody in my house, there's somebody in my house. So this person, good Samaritan.
I'm saying because I'm sorry. Because I am so sorry. Because if I would see somebody screaming, I would be scared myself and I would run away.
Dude, especially like in these times. I mean, this was 2008, but like now, like who opens their fucking door to just anybody?
Not only that, but if you're driving or walking down the street and then like, unfortunately, the way and how horrible the world is right now, like I would not stop. I'm sorry. I would be like, it's not my business. I'm sorry. I'm leaving.
Call the police.
Yeah, let me call and get you help. Yeah, because I would not. Not
well,
me.
Didn't you say? I think we brought it up on the podcast before, but didn't a lady was knocking on your door in la madrugada?
Oh yeah, no, not en la madrugada, en el día, and she was like trying to get us to open the door, talking about I need help because he's coming, or her boyfriend was like behind her. My sister Vanessa was actually here that time. Everything happens when she's here, and so we're like standing there, and I'm looking through the little peephole because I don't think we had the ring yet. And I'm looking through the people and she's like screaming at me. And then I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I was like, I'll call the cops for you, but I can't open the door. Like, I straight up, because she's standing there. And a lot of the times in other instances around the area, people have opened the door for people like that. And then they come and
they rob you and shit. Yeah.
So then that's what I'm saying. Like, you imagine,
you just don't never know, sadly.
Miss Diane would come out to the street and I would be, she's like, help, I need help. I would be like, oh my God, what do I do? Yeah. You don't know.
So this Good Samaritan, he was like, he went into the house and he saw Brittany. And then he was like, you need to call the ambulance. He's like, she needs help.
Oh, man.
So Diane calls the ambulance and I listened to the call and you can hear, she's bleeding. She's like, and she's just like really like panicked.
Yeah. Was asustada, pues.
Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. And the police and paramedics arrive in minutes. Like, no se tardan. And Brittany was rushed to the hospital. Brittany's condition was not good. Her family was told that she wasn't going to survive.
Wow.
Yeah. She had minimal brain activity.
So he had stabbed her? ¿O qué le hizo?
Ahorita. Get there.
Okay, sorry.
Remember, he was found
with the shovel. Yeah.
She had been beaten with the shovel so hard that it crushed the left part of her skull.
What the fuck?
And she had lacerations on her face, like cuts. She had a broken jaw.
Wow.
And a broken arm and wrist. Y dijeron that she did try to fight him because she had like defensive wounds on her arms.
Pobrecita.
And one of her sisters says that when they saw Brittany, she was like, it didn't even look like her. Her face was swollen and she's like, her head looked like a balloon, like a basketball. She was like, you just can't even imagine seeing like your sibling like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back at the crime scene, Brittany's purse and sunglasses were found right like in the entryway. So obviously something must have happened que cuando entró, this person was already inside the house.
Okay.
The shovel was inside todavía, along with the knife and duct tape. And then obviously for the police, there was blood everywhere. So they had stuff. The scene was like, they had a lot of shit on the scene, that you would think, that they were going to be able to work with.
Yeah. That you would think that would be enough, like evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There was also a broken window in the dining area. Like through the dining room area, there was like, how you have windows in your dining room.
Do you think that that's how they got in?
No, which the attacker jumped out of to escape when Diane left and ran. For whatever reason, I don't know this dumbass, because there was like a slide door next to it, but he jumped out the window.
Well, we heard that in that case that we had. What was the case where the girls that were killed he jumped out the window even though there was a door right next to it.
Yeah.
I guess because
Leslie and Adrian.
Yeah, Leslie and Adrian. Yes, I'm sorry. He jumped out of the window and there was a door right next to it.
Yeah, the detective at the time, the lead detective, he was like, I don't know if he was like panicked and didn't know if the sliding door was going to be locked or open, and he didn't want to like deal with trying to struggle opening.
Or maybe, if he was just panicked and he just ran.
He just ran through the window.
Yeah, he rammed it.
Yeah, but good thing he's a dumbass, right?
Yeah.
Now, there were fingerprints found on the shovel and the knife.
Okay. So he wasn't wearing gloves. He wasn't wearing a mask, nothing. He was just a man
doing shit.
Okay.
Yeah. And obviously those items got sent to get analyzed, and there were fingerprints found on them. There was DNA. But after testing came back, they found that the prints were incomplete because his blood and Brittany's were so intermingled that they couldn't develop an actual individual profile.
Okay. That probably wouldn't happen now, but back in the day.
Yeah. But a single drop of blood was found on the broken glass shards from the window that he jumped out of. Uh-huh. So they had like an actual like clean drop of blood.
Person blood.
DNA.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So they had his DNA.
Yeah, because se cortan. Yeah. I mean, based on what I don't know, because I've never
jumped through a window or put your hand through a window or whatever.
Not only that, or hit anybody with any kind of shovel. So, but apparently what I've heard from researching is that because of the fact that they're hitting this person so hard with so much force, the thing that they're using, sometimes they'll cut their selves,
or I know,
right?
like when people stab other people, like you stab yourself too, because with so much force that you're like inflicting upon the other person, que te corta también, because the knife slips and stuff,
and it's like blood and it's everywhere.
But he left his DNA because, he was jumping through the window, and it was sent to get analyzed. And they were able to create like an actual male profile, and they uploaded it to CODIS.
Okay.
Because to them, they were thinking como que like, okay, this person did something like really hardcore. Like there's no way that this is the first time that they've done something like this, you know?
Yeah.
But nothing came back.
Yeah. I mean, it happens a lot. I know. Yeah. It happens
for
a
sure.
lot.
There was no match. So since the attack on Brittany seemed to be like really personal because it was so brutal, they believed that it must have been somebody that Brittany knew or knew her family or something like that.
And not only that, but how did he get in?
Right.
You know, he probably, or maybe she walked in and he was already there.
Estaba robando
or something. Yeah, you know, pero like in that case, then, let me go from stealing to kill you. That makes no sense.
Like, what would have happened si no hubieran llegado for lunch, you know, like.
That's what I'm saying. You know? Like, was he waiting for her? A lo mejor la conocía. You know,
maybe it was her mom, Diane.
Maybe. Pero my deal is like, si tú vas a entrar a robar, so I'm stealing something. My focus is me voy a la pinche tele. I'm not focused on let me go and kill this person because she's standing there.
But
you know what I mean?
Dude, like that takes balls.
To go
into somebody else's house because you don't know who fucking lives there, bitch.
First of all, you know I'm fucking scary. And I mean, yeah, I would never fucking go into somebody's house. I would be like, first of all, I don't know how to get in. How am I going to get out? Like, I was just thinking shit.
Like, you don't know the layout of this home. I'm sure, like,
I'm like, no, like you said, hay una puerta, pero me voy a salir por la ventana. Like, I don't know. Like, I would be so fucking fucked up. That would be so scary. I don't know how people would do it, but yeah. I mean, more power to you. Stop doing it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. But golly, man.
So they investigated who she knew and whom she was hanging out with, like, around that time.
So I have a question. Since she had moved with her dad, did she leave her school she was going to, or was she in the same school?
I think she was in the same school because she had taken, like, graduating pictures already in, like, 2009.
So she was about, like, regular. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So también Brittany was dating somebody at the time, and even her boyfriend, of course, was looked into y todo y nothing. He was cleared. Everyone close to Brittany and the family was looked into and cleared. Even people on her dad's side, people that knew her dad, like maybe they thought he had something going on that must have been like bad vibes or something. Mm-hmm. And they even looked into and everything was cleared, like nada que ver. Mm. So investigators obviously couldn't speak to Brittany porque she was in a medically induced coma, but she wasn't the only witness, right? Porque Diane también lo vio. So they spoke to her and she described the man as either a dark Caucasian or a light Hispanic. Y que tenía casi como spiky brown hair, was not too tall, maybe like 5'7" to 5'10". He was in his 20s.
Have you ever caught yourself like trying to figure out how tall somebody is since you've been reading, like since I've been doing this, like for
just
some
by
reason,
looking at them?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, he must be like this. And then sometimes on pictures, I try to do it too. And I know it's stupid because I'm like, que me vale madre, ¿verdad?
Yeah, because I'm okay, I'm this tall, and they look to be about
this tall, and in my shoes, and like I know it's stupid, but I know there's somebody.
That you think about,
you
like,
guys, if y'all think the same, if it's the same way for you guys, let us know because I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that's like, yes, I do the same thing because either that or I'm like trying to look at license plates. Como pendeja, and like I don't have anything else on my mind but license plates and fucking how tall people are. How would I describe this guy? Greasy man. Greasy. He was greasy.
He was greasy. Yeah. Musty, crusty, dusty. So they created a sketch based on Diane's description and they released it to the public. But nothing came of that.
Nada. Oh my God, dude. This pisses me off. I hate it when that happens.
La familia de Brittany was like it was so unsettling because they were scared. They were scared.
Yeah, because what if they come back?
Exactly. Because when they actually went to go see Brittany in the hospital and they asked for Brittani Marcell, they were like, we don't have anybody here by that name.
Yeah.
But it turned out que they admitted her into, under a different name because a man went in looking for her. Yep. And he left before they, could figure out who it was.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Stop.
So
they don't have cameras of who that was?
I don't know. I do not know. Obviously, they didn't feel safe anywhere. So they moved. Diane, they never went back into that house.
I mean, who would go back to a house where your daughter just got almost murdered?
Yeah.
Who would do that?
And
I mean, no, more power to you if you do, but
I know not anybody can do that, obviously,
No. Respect to you, but I don't think I could.
Se movieron, they rented a house elsewhere, but even though they moved, like Diane dice que they were always on edge. She was like, we couldn't have open windows, like cracked doors. She was like, everything, we were pretty much like on lockdown. She was like,
that's so hard to live like that. Shit.
And they were just paranoid. Like, it really, like, changed your everyday today.
Well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that happened. Poor thing.
Let's take a quick break. Persons of Interest is back, and it's bigger than ever.
That scream will echo in my head for many years.
Taser! 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 He's gonna shoot!
Oi! Shot fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Stay out! You gotta go on you!
He had the perfect aim.
I am absolutely stressed at that point. I have no idea where my officers are.
Persons of Interest available everywhere you get your podcasts.
So 6 weeks after the attack, Brittany came to, like, se despertó. And they didn't think that she was going to ever, I mean, they told them that she had a couple of hours.
I have a question. I'm so sorry. So going back to the whole thing of the hospital, I know it's probably something that, you know, it's nothing. But so I wonder, how is it that the people from the hospital were like, let's change your name? So
I think that happens
often. You know what I
often.
mean? Like, I didn't register that. Like, were they like, oh, okay, this person might.
I think that happens. I think it happens more than I mean, I've never really thought about that until
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure it happens because, I mean, I'm sure the police come in and be like, hey, this happened. Obviously, the ambulance comes in and here's a report, you know, this girl.
Yeah, they give a report and stuff like that.
So
and maybe. But I'm just wondering if there's anybody out there that knows the answer to this. Let us know. Do you think
there's protocol?
Does that happen? Is that protocol? You know, I know that I don't work. I work in the medical field, but I've never worked at an actual hospital, so I don't know how that works. You know, if this is somebody that's, you know, maybe a victim of domestic violence or that kind of stuff. Oh, okay, we need to change their name. Because that was awkward for them to just change her name like that. You know, I don't know. Sorry about that. Go ahead. So they moved away.
And Brittany, after 6 weeks, se despertó. And I meant to say she opened her eyes, but I said, or I typed, she opened her guys.
Oh, wow. Guys before fries or fries before guys?
Y su sister said when she opened her eyes, they used to be blue. They were gray now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that possible? Are you sure this is the same girl?
Yeah. Yes, bitch. You can tell.
Wow. Oh, no, because I just listened to a story about somebody that was mixed identity. So that's why I had that.
Yeah, well, it was Brittany. Yeah. It was her sister. Now, Brittany had no memory of the accident. I mean, she was being with the shovel.
Yeah.
She didn't know what happened to her or why she was in the hospital. Y al rato dice, she's like, I thought I was in a car accident. She was like,
Pobrecita.
Until they told her
that somebody had
what happened to her. And she's like, I couldn't believe it.
Well, dude, she made it through all of that. Bro, because he broke her jaw and shit? The fuck?
In the months that followed, she would undergo many surgeries to save her life.
Ay, pobrecita.
In one of those surgeries, part of her skull was removed. It was just like dead tissue, decía su mom, decía Diane. She also contracted meningitis. Y casi se moría de eso.
What the fuck? While she was in the hospital?
Yeah, while she was in the hospital. Then by December, thankfully, los doctores le dijeron a la familia, the family Marcell, that she was actually going to live. Like, she was going to be alive.
They actually had a possibility. There was no possibility that she was going to die. Okay.
But they just didn't know what her life would look like.
Oh, my God.
Her sister says, she was like, when we were able to, like, put her in a wheelchair, you take her outside, like, para que le diera el aire. She was just leaning to the side and, like, drooling from her mouth. And she was like, this can't be it for my sister. She's like,
Pobrecita.
Well, she was like, who would do this to my sister?
Yeah, who? Yeah. Like, and because they don't know who did it and for what reason, obviously. Yeah, pobrecita.
Brittany's, her ear canal was crushed. So she was deaf from her left ear. And her optic nerve was severed, so she was blind from her left eye. And 5 months after the attack, she was released from the hospital because she was stable enough. Yeah, like she could, you know.
Well, stable to the standards of the hospital, but not stable to what she was before.
Oh,
right?
yeah, never. Yeah. She was never going to go back to that.
So did they explain why her eyes were gray? I'm still into that.
No, I was going to look it up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I
could that happen?
I mean, her optic nerve, I don't know, maybe has like to do with like your cerebral part of your brain and stuff like that, but...
I mean, I don't know, but I've heard, like, for example, one of our other cases where the little girl was, what was her name? Miss Jennifer Schuett. Whenever the guy, like, was trying to, but he was, like, trying to choke her to death. Her eyes were red and, like, bulged out, but nothing
not
like,
the color
not
of
the
her
color.
actual.
Yeah, that's weird. But anyway, I'm sure it is.
Brittany would have to learn to walk again.
Oh, my God.
How to eat again. I think they said she would even learn how to swallow again. How to read. She was like, I couldn't understand the language that was being, spoken. It was like literally they describe her as being from toddler all over again. Like that's how she was.
Guys, I'm so sorry to interrupt Estela, but the disclosure, they are fixing one of the houses in my neighborhood that did have a lot of damage. So if you hear like knocking and stuff, that's what it is.
It's outside.
It's outside. Sorry about that. And we're not in a studio. We're in my garage. So sorry about that.
With Brittany out of the hospital, Diane, to mom, more so now, wanted to leave New Mexico because they were like, what if they come back after her?
Yeah.
She was
like,
they
don't even know who this is, who it is.
Right.
Like, they have no idea.
So Diane agarró Brittany and her 2 youngest kids, and they moved to Texas. Diane had also found a great rehab center or clinic for Brittany. So she was like, let's get out of here. Let's go. And I actually never found out where in Texas they live because Brittany now, she's like, nobody knows my location because,
Yeah, definitely. I understand. And I wouldn't, see past the fact that they would be like, hey, I don't want anybody to know anything about me. Yeah, for sure. But I'm pretty sure that they came to Texas because in Texas we do have the best medical facilities in all Texas, not just in the
nation.
Area. Yeah. Uh-huh.
At the rehab center, Brittany's therapy consisted of getting through like one small task at a time. Her neuropsychologist said that you would practice this thing every day, a cada ratito, like you just repetitive until it became reflexive to her. Yeah. Because she had to grasp everything. Like they say, you're going to have to rewire the brain.
Wow.
Yeah. Brittany wasn't able to access 25% of her brain after the attack. And like I just said, her neuropsychologist, Dr. Wright, wasn't even sure how far she would go in her recovery, like how far it would take her.
And she's a teen. Like she never finished high school quite yet. Like that is so mind-boggling to me. Like to hear the fact that this young girl got beat up basically to death by somebody they don't even know who.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And for what?
And
not that, having a reason or knowing a reason will make it any better, but like, why?
Yeah.
And since she had suffered memory loss, it wasn't known if that would ever come back. Ever.
Pobrecita.
After months at the rehab center, like Brittany started to make progress, like little by little. Mm-hmm. In a year into her cognitive therapy, she made like substantial progress that they didn't believe that she was she was going to be able to make, like at all. Her doctor was saying, her neuropsychiatrist, you're like, when you have that much trauma to the brain, like you don't know. She's like, they can't even tell you, yes, she's going to make full recovery. There's no way to know.
Back to my sister, Vanessa, again, she has 2 fans here on Cafecito in Crime. But anyway, back to her. She worked for a rehab that was for brain injuries in Dallas. And she actually said that it was incredible how, like, she would tell me about stories about people that were in there. And it was just incredible to hear how much progress they would have or how much better they would be,
That's crazy.
But, to me, it's just crazy to me, but I don't know.
Now, none of the therapy, the rehab center that Brittany was at, helped with her memory. Like it wasn't supposed to bring her memory back or anything like that. I don't think
that's what they work on.
They were just if they were to come to her, they would. If not, then they wouldn't. There's nothing that they could really do about it. And as of 2018, at least, Brittany says that she didn't remember high school. She remembered very little of middle school, but she does remember her childhood, which is kind of weird, right?
I guess because that's her further memories.
Like further back,
maybe?
Earlier memories.
Maybe because she might have the lobe that she was hit on, it might be her.
Or maybe she just blocked whatever was closer to,
I don't know, because I've heard, I don't know about this, but I've heard or I've read about people that have that are kind of having dementia and that kind of thing, or Alzheimer's, that they lose part of their brain function first. So that's why they only remember certain things and they don't remember a lot of stuff. So maybe that's what it is. Her function, the brain of the side that was functioning. That's crazy to me that our brain has a whole ass function, like the front lobe and the back lobe, and oh my God. But humans are amazing.
Yeah.
Unless you're
trash.
Yeah.
Now, the investigation was stalling a bit. And to help it move things along, Brittany and her sisters would look through social media, just pictures of people that, friends of friends, to see if anything would jog her memory or she'd recognize somebody. They looked through old ass year pictures and stuff like that, but nothing really came of it. There was one guy that she thought looked creepy in one of her, a yearbook, and he was looked into. But he was just creepy looking. There
Oh, pobrecito. You imagine?
Like, he just probably took a bad picture or whatever.
Oh my God. I would be so pissed if be like, hey, Miss Barbara, we're going to look into you because you look fucking creepy. And I'll be like, I didn't do nothing. I'm just creepy looking. That's so fucked up. Oh my God. That is so fucked up. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to laugh, but that is mean. Pobrecito. He's probably at home like, I was the one that was looked into because I look creepy.
Everyone was a suspect to the Marcells.
Yeah.
Friends of friends that they knew. She was like, you just looked at everybody completely different because you don't know. If they were out somewhere or Diane, whatever, and they saw somebody random that just kind of like gave them like a bad vibe or just look suspicious.
Suspicious in the words of the Queen.
Bailey. They get like the driver's license of the person or whatever. They
be Barbie and shit. Like, oh my God, they look like that.
Mental picture.
Click.
They shoot that license plate over to the investigators. The investigators would identify the person and will look into these people.
At least they would try to help, like make her feel like
they looked into 30 people and nothing. That they were like, okay, this person looks suspicious. Are they following me? Like what? And nada, like nothing. So 2 years into the case, they had nothing.
Oh my God, Estelle, I don't want to hear this shit. Tell me what happened.
And since Brittany didn't die.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a murder case.
That's true. But isn't a sexual, it's like an attack.
It would have been an attempted murder case.
Attempted murder, yeah.
Attempted murder is a second-degree felony, which has statute of limitations.
Okay.
Ranging from 3 to 6 years in New Mexico.
What?
So something needed to be done so the person that did this wouldn't get away with it on a technicality if he were to be found out who he was later on past the 3 to 6 years.
Me?
Yeah, they were like, even if this 10 years from now, if this guy confessed to her murder, there's nothing that could be done because...
Is this like a New Mexico thing?
No, statute of limitations.
Well, still, bitch, that's not...
For murder, there is no statute of limitations. Yeah. But for a felon, like a second degree, like attempted murder, it does have statute of limitations.
Dude,
so
what the fuck?
Do you want to know what they did?
Yeah.
Okay, bitch, let me tell you.
Yeah, pues ya te tengo trato esperando.
David Waymeyer, who was a deputy district attorney, found a way to kind of like get around this statute of limitations or this deadline that they could probably have, right? So remember the drop of blood that they found at the scene?
Yeah.
You know, they had created a DNA profile for that drop of blood. Well, they indicted that drop of blood as a John Doe. Like they named the DNA profile.
Good.
It was the state of New Mexico versus John Doe.
You know what? That's awesome. And I give that props to New Mexico because they could have just let it go.
They were trying. They were like, you cannot, like, it was just really bad. Like if you pull up pictures of Brittany.
I didn't want to do this, guys, because I get really sad when I see this and then I be remembering I have a daughter too. So, oh my God, she's so beautiful. Oh, I see how she looks like now.
She looks the same in a way. I mean, yeah. But you know how she was always smiling before?
Oh, she can't smile from one side. Ya la mire. Pobrecita, like that. Oh my God, I have a picture of the way she looked whenever she was in the hospital, guys.
Yeah.
No manches. She looks so, like, doesn't even look like the same person.
And it's so weird how, like your body heals itself.
That's why I told you the human body is amazing, but I mean, we're all trash.
Yeah,
and
apparently.
Apparently. That's crazy. But she is beautiful, guys, and not only that, but it was sad to see her like that. That breaks my heart. Yeah.
So the DNA being indicted as a John Doe that had never been done before, and they didn't know how long it would actually hold up in court. But they did it, and it was like, okay, it's open. He's indicted, so it should be like good for right now. Now we're like at 5 years after the attack. The case was frío, para decirte. It was
congelado, a la verga, man.
The lead investigator at the time, I think his name was Jason Morales or something like that. You know, he was trying or whatever, but Diane was like, no, it's been 5 years. So she called his boss, Sergeant Thompson. She's like, hey, can we get new eyes on the case? She was like, we need something to get done.
Something needs to be like moving along. Yeah, I get it. So, well, why didn't they? I mean, I wonder, and here we go again with my wondering. Do they like send the blood into CODIS again? No. Like after?
Oh, maybe
do
like
they do it one time?
Yeah.
Or do they like, okay, let's do it
after a couple of years or whatever.
1 year, whatever.
Maybe.
I'm just asking if anybody out there knows that answer to my question. That'd be great. Thank you. Because, you know, I have a lot of questions in life.
Questions are good to have.
Yeah, because learning is everything.
Yeah. So the case was reassigned to veteran homicide detective Jody Gonterman. She's a bad bitch.
Oh, Jody? She's a bad bitch of the story? I like Jody already.
Yeah, well, yeah. Jody, Brittany's a bad bitch of the story, too. Miss Jody Gonterman, bad bitch.
Brittany is like the queen of the story.
Yeah,
we're talking about the bad bitch of the story.
No, Brittany is too.
Brittany is, you know.
So, detective,
you know, they can both have it.
Yeah.
Queen bad bitches.
She reviewed everything, like the whole case. She went over, you know, everything.
She's like, let me
she was in it. She was on it. Like, she was on it. And even
that makes me so happy. Like, give me this case right here.
She's
real
like,
quick.
I got it.
I got this.
Even her boss, Sergeant Thompson, involved herself, también la señora, and they made sure that the case was back on the news and getting attention.
Look at her.
New tips started coming in after they put it back out there, and they followed each one. They get DNA from suspects that could have done this to Brittany, and they would run it against the DNA profile that they had of the drop of blood.
Mm-hmm. Y nada. Okay.
They did it 17 times.
Oh, su pinche madre.
And nada. There was even one guy that from the looks of it could have done it because he lived close to Brittany and he had like stalked his girlfriend or some shit. And he left New Mexico after what happened to Brittany. I believe he was like in Colorado or whatever.
So maybe he fit the description, the profile.
Yeah. They even tracked him down in Colorado, got his DNA and compared it. Nada.
Mames.
No match. Now by 2014...
So Brittany is making progress because I see that she looks now that I see the pictures from now. I didn't look into a lot, but I did see that she looks like she's progressing like a lot.
Like she's back to normal.
She's back, walking and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now by 2014, they decided to try something a little bit different. They obviously, you know, everybody, también la new detective Jody Gonterman had tried all the traditional ways about going to find out who did this to Brittany, and they weren't getting anywhere. Sadly, you know, let's be honest. Brittany, the witness herself, didn't remember anything about the attack, so they decided to try hypnosis, which is very controversial. Well, it's controversial because it's not known if the person under hypnosis is actually remembering or if they're just creating false memories.
I want to get hypnotized. Would you?
To remember what?
I know, huh? You're right. Anyways.
Like for
I'm
what?
like, I don't know. Just for fun.
Just talk more shit.
Just to talk more shit. To remember more shit I don't want to remember. Hey, shit that I regressed that's in the back of my brain. I don't want to remember. But anyway, yeah. Okay, so they hypnotized her.
Yeah, they wanted to try it because they weren't sure if Brittany's memory loss were actually suppressed memories or actual memory loss.
Pero entonces, let's say that I'm getting hypnotized, ¿verdad? Mm-hmm. And so then... Let's say que no le dice nada. Just say, hey, Brittany, what do you remember? Instead of giving her, do you remember when you were here? Or just kind of let her talk. There's actually a video of this. I've seen people do that.
No, there's a video of Brittany's.
What? Getting hypnotism?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. Y luego, but I'm just guessing wow. All of the bodily fluids are coming out.
Yeah.
Pero like what I'm asking is like, is that something that they do? Or
no, that's where it doesn't really... Like I said, it's controversial. They don't try it unless they're like, need to like get it moving, you know, like actually we need something.
Even though, but this is crazy because I don't know if I'm the only one. I don't know why I'm so thinky today, but I'm being very thinky. So my deal is even though the mom was there and she saw him and he talked to her. And went to the kitchen to go get another knife. And like, como quiera, they still have nothing. That's just
they
crazy.
Have his DNA, bitch.
Like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. So they hypnotized her.
Brittany was on board, but she was scared. She was like, I didn't want to relieve that trauma, like relive it. She was like, I just wanted to remember his face and I just wanted to remember his name. That's it. She was like, I didn't want to relive it.
Did you also, so maybe she thought she knew him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you think about, otra vez, I'm thinking today, guys. So if you think about it, if she comes into the house and she puts her keys down or whatever. Or she unlocked the door, she closes the door, walks in, because her mom said que estaban sus, like so did he attack her right away?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, was he waiting for her?
Was he waiting for her? O la conocía?
Estaba robando,
¿qué andas haciendo aquí, güey? O ¿qué pedo aquí? Whatever. You know, so I mean, that's where we're at right now.
Clinical psychologist Leon Morris was chosen to work with Brittany, and he believed, el señor, like, I think they evaluate her and sees her chart or whatever, and he did believe that they were repressed memories. Like her brain was trying to protect itself from that trauma, so she couldn't remember it, you know? So on August 14th of 2014, the hypnosis took place.
Okay.
And this was recorded. So like I said, if you want to look it up online, you can find it. So he begins by, están sentados en un cuartito, like interrogation room, está chiquito. Like, I was thinking in my mind, like a fucking couch. Like
no, bitch, I'm literally thinking like como una pinche couch tirado, como real pretty, down. With velvet and shit, laying down, like aquí se acuesta señora.
It's like one of these, estaba sentada like in one of these chairs that we're sitting down.
¿No se acostó?
No, estaba sentada.
Bro, yo me quiero acostar.
Yeah, estaba sentada.
Like, sentada como que normal. Like,
yeah, like this. Like me and you right now, sentadas.
What the fuck?
Y el señor también, el
I'm
doctor.
gonna be like, when I get hypnotized, can y'all lay me down? Because ¿qué tal si me caigo, güey? No mames. No, hell no.
Bitch, what are you going to remember?
You never know. Tengo miedo, bitch.
He begins by calming her down, and it takes about 10 minutes before she's in the trance. She remembers getting home, that it's empty, but she sees someone, dice ella. And her body starts shaking, like you could see it in the video. And she says that it hurts and that she's like, he's hurting me. He's hurting me. She's like, it hurts. And that she's bleeding. She describes him as tall, with spiky hair, muscly, light skin tone, square jaw, Mexican or Hispanic, and brown eyes. Y también Dr. Leon, of course, is like asking her, what do you remember? Y todo eso.
Like smells and stuff. Because sometimes you can, by a smell, you can tell like he smelled like this or whatever. Yeah. Or like he smelled woody or like he stepped on shit or something.
Whatever. Dr. Leanne Morris asks her if she has seen the men before. And she answers, kind of questioning herself. She says, did I see him at my work? I don't know. Maybe he bought glasses for me. That's what she says. So like the whole trance and her being under hypnosis lasts only 36 minutes.
That's a lot. 36 minutes?
And this was...
No, I'm thinking like 36 seconds, bitch, because I don't want to remember a lot. Like, you better bring me back quick, Estela. You better make sure they bring me back quick.
Now, this was the most information they had ever gotten from Brittany, ever. I mean, because she couldn't remember anything.
Yeah, definitely.
So they hoped that it would produce a lead. And even Dr. Leanne Morris le dijo a Jody, Detective Jody Gonterman, she was like, now that we've hypnotized her, she was like... Maybe her mind or her memories will slowly start coming back to her.
Yeah.
So a new sketch was produced or created from Brittany's description. And it was compared next to the one que Diana les había dado al principio. And they had some similarities, nada más.
The spiky hair. She said the spiky hair. She said he might be a little bit of a Hispanic.
Light skin and light skin.
Light skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, darker than light skin. Like he wasn't a white male. He
just
was like
light skin.
Light skin. Yeah.
Brittany's sketch was put out. But nothing came of it.
No mames, güey. Ya metes hasta la verga con es que nothing. Nothing.
Es que nada. Nada. But even though the search for her attacker wasn't going anywhere, Brittany was out here, like I said, being a queen bad bitch.
For real? What was she doing? Tell
because
me.
Not only did she graduate from high school, but
she
was at the rehab center.
Yes.
But she also graduated from college in May of 2016.
Shut the fuck up.
With a degree in communications.
What in the world?
Yeah.
She literally was missing half of her fucking skull, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Brittany. Yes.
All the
snaps for you. You are the bad bitch of the story. You are.
Now,
that's awesome.
That same year, around the same time, a company called Parabons enters the picture. Okay. And this was a company that Detective Jody Gonterman had heard of. It was like new technology and stuff. Parabon.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Cinnabon.
No, don't talk about the Cinnabon, que ya sabes que a mí me gusta eso. No, don't talk about that.
Cinnabon, but Parabon.
Don't talk about the Cinnabons.
Parabon Nanolabs developed the DNA phenotyping system.
Okay.
Which reads on their website as accurately predicts genetic and edits genetic ancestry, eye color, hair color, skin color, freckling, and face shape in individuals from any ethnic background, even individuals with mixed ancestry.
Holy shit. Basically, like, te sacan de nada.
So pretty much, they create a sketch of how you look.
By your DNA.
Holy
shit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that happens everywhere. I mean, more often than we know, probably.
And it said that Parabon started in the military. Like, during the Iraq War, they would create pictures of, like, insurgent bomb makers or something like that. So that's how it started in the military.
And I'm pretty sure also to kind of identify our soldiers, right? That would be a good idea.
I would assume so. Yeah. I thought that at first.
I mean, it doesn't, I don't want to say that, but I mean, that's what it sounded like.
But when detectives were looking into cases, they started reaching out to the company. And I need to say her whole name. Detective Jody Gonterman actually was able to acquire the funds, because obviously they charged, it was like over $3,000 or something like that, to have the DNA profile of the assailant sent over to Cinnabon.
Stop!
Parabon.
Yeah. Like Paragard. Paragard is the name of an IUD.
Yeah.
So Paragard.
So the process would take a couple of months. But at least they had, it was It was like a door that they had.
Yeah,
open door
definitely.
now.
So now we're looking into this
Other
advanced, DNA.
They're thinking outside the box. They did the hypnosis and now Parabons.
What? I'm loving
Jodie Garnerman.
Jodie Garnerman. You are another bad bitch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At the same time that was getting done, in October 2016, Brittany asked her mom si ella conocía a alguien by the name of Justin.
Justin? Who's Justin?
I don't know. Do you know a Justin?
No, but my sister was going to name my nephew Justin.
Oh, okay.
Para decirle Justino. For real, I'm being serious. She wanted to name my nephew Justin.
Her mom said no and asked her why. Y Brittany le dijo que that name Justin is jousting.
Wow.
That the name Justin had been popping into her mind recently. A lot. Like every day. And remember the Dr. Leon Morris dijo
later
that,
on. Yeah.
Okay. Since her mom no sabía quién era Justin, she called her sisters. And, she had a lot of sisters. And they told her
Being Barbie and shit.
Yeah, they told her that they knew a Justin Hansen. And remember, Brittany used to work at the mall?
Yeah.
And the mall there was like the hangout spot. Like everybody was at the mall. Like some of her sisters were like, yeah, I met my husband at the mall. Like that was just people would hang out at the mall.
Well, that's how we are back in the day. Now we can't do that. Now my child is not going anywhere. Yeah. She can't go anywhere.
So people knew everybody, right, at the mall. Like people knew who was at the mall. Like, hey, you're going to go to the mall today? He's like, yeah, let's go to the food court. I would think. I don't know.
Is that how they would talk, Estella?
I don't know.
Okay. I see.
One of Brittany's sisters told her that Justin Hansen worked at Hollister at the mall. Remember we used to work at Hollister? Bro, that was the shit.
Bro, I was before the whole...
Back in 2008?
Back in 2008, everything in Hollister was the size of like...
Un palo,
un pencil, right? So I'm, I don't know if y'all don't know me personally, but I'm not the size of a palo. So then what happened was after the whole Lizzo movement came through, because that's what I call it, when Lizzo came out and everybody was like, oh, body, positivity. So then when the Lizzo movement, now Hollister had my size, and then it was the shit. Because you would walk in y olías a puro perfume, bro. Te lo tragabas el perfume, bro.
That's Abercrombie to me.
No, Hollister también. Te tragabas, you would walk in y te tragabas todo el pinche perfume. You would walk in, man, it tastes like perfume. It was like all that shit they would spray.
I'm like, damn, me duelen los ojos.
Bro,
fuck.
and then like you would go in there. I thought it was, why would I think this is so stupid? Because I would walk in with my little stroller, I had my baby girl. And then like they had a picture of what like, ¿cómo se llamaba? I guess California looked like.
Yeah.
Like the sea, whatever,
Malibu
or something. And it looks so nice. And we're over here in Houston.
No, wait, pero las tiendas están así de chiquitas. You're crashing everywhere then.
Because
y tú con tu stroller ahí metida, like crashing.
And I would be like,
everything.
Estela, ve a pagar y yo te espero acá afuera.
Yeah.
I'd be like, tú pagas y yo te espero acá afuera. But yeah. But anyway, I remember Hollister. So he worked there.
He worked at Hollister. Le dijo una de sus hermanas. And in the episode for Dateline, because there's an episode for Dateline on this, Brittany says that she remembers that Justin would go and talk to her at the kiosk.
Se salía del Hollister. The Hollister was close to the kiosk.
He would not, she doesn't say it was close by, but she's like,
on his breaks and stuff.
He would come down to talk to me. That's what she said. And she said that she doesn't remember if he was interested in her, like seriously interested in her, but he was definitely flirting.
Okay.
And
see, that would be my dumbass.
Justin was like, I want to say he was probably like 5 years older than her.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So he was like in his 20s.
Yeah, early 20s. Yeah, early 20s.
Because she was 17. Yeah. And this is why my child will never have a job. Anywhere. Yep, she's not having a job.
So con este nombre, she's like, okay, Justin Hansen, tengo this name. I'm like, let me call Detective Jodie Gonterman, I'm sorry. And she's like everything, whatever name they think of or whoever.
Yeah, and they were so good about,
like following up and stuff. So she was like, hey, I have this name, he keeps popping into my head. And this was the first time that Brittany had come out with the name herself, like.
This not people that was just following them.
Yeah,
and shit. Okay.
like not Diane, not her sisters. No, this came from Brittany. So Detective Jodie Gonterman looked into Justin Hansen, right? She pulled him up. Clickety-clack. She found that Justin was married and was a father of 4.
Damn, 4?
He had no criminal record besides just like a DUI or some shit. And he didn't match the sketch that was created after Brittany went under hypnosis.
He did not match the sketch?
No.
Okay.
Did not.
But even before, like maybe back in the day, he still didn't match the sketch. Okay.
Justin wasn't tall like Brittany had said when she was under hypnosis.
Okay. But maybe he was taller than her.
He was regular height. He also had green eyes, not brown eyes. And he also wasn't muscular because remember she said he was muscly. Oh. And he was just he was more lean than anything.
Oh, okay.
So Detective Jody Gonterman was like, okay, we have this name. Sure, just put it here to the side for now.
Yeah, because she kept saying that she kept thinking about that name. Yeah, okay.
And she was like, we're going to eventually go talk to him, but, let's just get a little bit more information. You just don't want to show up on his door and, start.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, because that poor guy, he looked sketchy and it wasn't. It was just his picture, pobrecito. He should have gotten
I hope he's okay.
I hope he's fine. He should have gotten a gift card or something from the police.
So in January of 2017, the Parabon DNA profile thing that they had sent out came back.
Okay.
The analysis showed that based on the DNA found at the scene, the blood, the perpetrator was fairly light-skinned with light brown hair and green to hazel eyes.
Okay.
And, cuando te mandan estos resultados, it comes with a fucking sketch.
Stop!
Yeah, te lo mandan. I'm telling you.
Una pinche foto.
Or like a 3D computer-generated picture of what this person looks like based on the profile.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
This could help so many people.
Oh yeah, girl. Yeah, it's
wow. It's out there.
It's out there. It's doing its thing.
It's doing the thing.
The thing thing.
Okay.
The sketch resembled Justin Hansen.
Nuh-uh. Stop.
I'm gonna show you a picture.
Let me see. I want to see it. Oh my God. Fucking tell me this. My stomach hurts. It might be the coffee. I don't know. Stop. Are you fucking kidding me? The same ears? Like the fucking hairline?
Yeah. I mean, of course, there's some similarities because, maybe your hair's longer or like...
Bro, look at his nose, dude. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm looking at it. The way that his mouth is like this, de aquí. Like the little, ¿cómo se llama esto? Like a...
Cupid's bow?
The Cupid's bow.
Above your
lip. It's incredible to me. That is crazy.
That's science for you, bitch.
That's fucking science. Because I believe in the science.
You can't escape the science.
You can't. I believe in the science.
I believe in the science.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We don't win because you're fat. Anyway, go ahead.
So Detective Jody Gonterman, along with another detective, pay Justin a visit, Mm-hmm. So the detective que fue con Detective Jody Gonterman was wearing like a body cam. And there's video of this, like it's out there. And you can see the whole interaction. So they go and pay him a visit en la mañana. Y está fuera de su casa like in a robe. I think he was throwing out the trash he was throwing out the trash or some shit. Wow. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know.
He was like very friendly and cooperative or whatever. Just very calm. Hasta los invita dentro de su casa y todo.
Like bien ¿cómo se llama? Suburban area.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, very suburban.
Chanclas, you know, like just chilling.
Y ahí estaban sus niños, his 3 kids.
Tiene 4, güey.
No, wait, you'll find out right now.
Oh, okay.
Sus kids, like they weren't in school and like he's getting, he's answering all these questions adentro de su casa and he's holding one of his kids, like kids are crying in the background y todo like suburban, fam, just chilling every day. Slice of life. Excuse me, sir. This is a residential area.
Mr. Ford Mustang.
So Detective Jody Gonterman tells him that they are investigating an old case.
Yeah.
And the Brittani Marcell. So he gets asked if he remembered hanging out with Brittany at the kiosk, ¿verdad? And he answers by saying that he didn't hang out with Brittany. He would just walk by, like de pasada, and he would just be like, oh, hey. See. Just hello.
He would never stop to talk to her.
No.
Y no iban al Cinnabon.
Yeah, that was at the mall.
That was at the mall.
Yeah.
Y no iban.
No creo.
No, porque dice que no, que he would just walk by and say hi.
De pasada.
De pasadita.
And as they're talking to him, they notice a scar on his hand. No dice exactly where or nada like that, pero they ask him about it, and it's reported that he can never give him like a clear answer of how he got the scar on his hand. So after a few minutes...
So yeah, he started getting a little razzle-dazzle, porque ya le estaban preguntando cositas que he couldn't, cover, you know, okay?
So after a few minutes, Detective Jody Gonterman tells him that, they hope to get his DNA, and she tells him, you're not a suspect. Así, like, todo, like, chill, like, really, like, you're not a suspect, this is just, like, we have to rule you out, you don't mind, right? And it's here that he hesitates. He said, like, he asked if he could think about it and that he'll get back to them. And he says something along the lines of like, it's just that because me and my girlfriend or me and my wife, we watch a lot of these shows and I just don't want to get blamed for something that I didn't do or something like that. And then he's like, I just need to talk to my mom or whatever about it.
What?
And this man is like in his early 30s, like 33, 34.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. like, for you to be like...
They were like, wait, is your mom like a lawyer or
yeah,
something?
is your mom like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Mama's boy or whatever, you know? Pero luego dice, first of all, he said, I need to talk to my wife about it because...
Not his wife, his mom.
No, pero dice que he was watching a lot of shows with his wife
about...
But now I'm going to go talk to my mom about it?
Yeah, they were like, you don't want to talk to your wife. She's literally right there.
Literally.
You know, like...
Pero it's because his wife was there. So he's like, if I say my wife, they're going to be like, well, wait. And then, you know, okay, I see you. So Justin.
The detectives tell him, yeah, you know, that's cool. Yeah, sure. You know, get back to us, whatever. You reach, le dieron su tarjeta y todo. So he even walks him out and everything like that. Like they're outside his house. Están hablando. And, you know, Detective Jody Gonterman, she's like, I'm just going to rattle him a little bit, you know. No, Detective Gonterman tells him, you know, Brittany's remembering stuff. You know, like you say that you didn't talk to her, but she is saying that you would stop and talk to her for at least an hour twice a week. And she remembers you with your tight, I don't know if she said Abercrombie or Hollister shirt with your...
Hollister?
With your jeans and your underwear showing and everything.
Con los jeans.
Con los jeans así like sagging and shit.
Oh my God. Typical 2006, 2008, 7, whatever.
The thousands.
Whatever. Wow.
Then,
with the spiky hair.
With the spiky hair, yeah. So he was like shook. He's like, fuck, it's coming back, you know? So se van or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Y pasa tiempo, I don't know if it's weeks or days or I don't know what, pero Justin never gets back to Detective Jody Gonterman. And so she decides to call him.
Oh, hey.
So during the call, he refuses. He says he's not going to give his DNA.
Okay.
And that he needs an apology because they were coming at him like aggressively. Like thinking, he was saying that it doesn't matter what he said, that they thought he was guilty in their eyes anyways, blah, blah, blah.
Excuse me, sir, but what? That's not what we went to your house for.
Right.
You know, but whatever.
So Detective Gonterman continues to look into Justin de todos modos, you know, different avenues or whatever.
Es que ya ahorita, like literally, if you guys, I know Estela's going to post a picture of it when we post about it on Instagram, but when you see this, I mean, it literally is the same person that
Science
DNA.
doesn't lie.
Yeah, I mean.
Science doesn't lie.
Yeah, I mean.
Right?
I'm just saying, because I believe in the science.
I believe in the science. So, like I said, Detective Jody Gonterman, you know, starts talking to other people that know Justin, and she reaches out or interviews over the phone one of the mothers of his sons.
So his baby mama.
His baby mama. I think it's his first baby mama because he had one son with his ex baby mama and the three
that que estaban en la casa. Okay. Y luego he was carrying one. Okay, yeah, okay.
So she interviews his ex or baby mama, the mother of his child, and she tells the detective that Justin took part in a lot of criminal activity that he kept well hidden. And that his mom would help cover it up and shit.
That's why he wanted to talk to his mom.
Like petty theft shit. Que dice que la mom, he had stolen his mom's like credit card and rented like a U-Haul. And then he went around the neighborhood stealing like bikes and shit.
The fuck?
And that he like set a car on fire or some shit. And then he told the police somebody else did it or the insurance company.
God.
And while he would do all these criminal activities, se llamaba el hijo de ellos.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y que también le dijo que when he would have the kid, that he was like, well, if you want him back, you have to pay me.
What is wrong with this motherfucker?
Well, good thing he ended up giving away his parental rights to the son.
Oh, he did. He was like, I don't want to have anything to do with him.
Mejor para él because he was in and out of his life and shit. So they like broke up for good in like 2006 or something like that. So obviously, you know, she's finding out this information, blah, blah, blah. But they can't arrest Justin. They don't have anything on him. If he doesn't give them their DNA, I mean, other than that, they don't have anything else.
That's true.
You know?
Okay.
So they decide to put some undercover officers and have them follow Justin around. It's June by this point of 2017.
Yeah.
Because it takes a while to get that approved, apparently. So when they got that approved and they were going to start tailing him, pues ya no lo encuentran. Sí, el señor had quit his job y se había movido.
So rewind a little bit. Where was he living whenever they went to go?
With his wife in the house.
Pero ¿dónde?
In Albuquerque.
In Albuquerque.
Yeah.
So he never had moved away from Albuquerque. He was still there.
Yeah.
But now that they're like pressuring him a little bit, he all of a sudden decided he needed to move.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Apparently he had like a his record. He would just quit jobs like randomly and stuff, but not like moving and shit. Now, a couple of months passed before they actually locate him. And by the time that they locate him, se había separado de su esposa, the one that he was living with. And now he was in Bosque Farms, New Mexico, which is it says it's a little village outside of Albuquerque. And I think his family had like a farm there. So he was staying there con ellos.
No, porque la mom le ayuda, pues.
Yeah.
La mom le ayuda. So
he gets followed to a McDonald's He eats his McDonald's. He throws away his trash. And the undercover detectives retrieve the trash.
That's what's up. That's exactly what happened.
Especially for the cup that he had drank out of.
Yep, because it is public property.
And it's DNA, bitch.
DNA, motherfucker. Because that's exactly what happened to the guy the Idaho murders. They got his trash from his dad's trash can.
Yeah. So Justin's DNA gets compared to the DNA found at the crime scene. You know, the blood.
The blood.
It's 100% match.
Yes, ma'am.
After 9 years.
Oh, my God.
They finally have a match. And like when even Detective Jody Gonnerman, she was like, dude, she's like, I cried.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's like, you try not to get, you know, emotionally involved. She's like, there's just no way. And, you know, I can't even imagine how relieved Brittany and her family fucking felt.
Can you believe that shit, bro? What the fuck, man?
So Justin was arrested on July 5th, 2017 at an Albertsons. It was kind of sad because he had his kids with him.
Well, if you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime.
Yeah. So he seemed very surprised que lo estaban arrestando and shit.
How could you do
that
to
like,
me?
And his neighbors and like people that knew him where he was sad, they were like, they couldn't fucking believe it. He was like, he was just so nice and pleasant. Like they couldn't believe that.
I mean, that's what you need to remember.
Ojos vemos, corazón no sabemos.
Exactly, motherfucker.
At his hearing, he was quiet, bro. And he looked scared. And
he's like, they're about to rape me in fucking jail.
And he had like, I don't want to like sound like a bitch and shit, but like,
oh, it's okay.
I've never seen
I'm a bitch too.
Bags that bad on somebody.
Damn. He had not slept in a while.
Yeah.
Pues tiene miedo que se lo van a chingar en el jail, güey.
He was charged with attempted first-degree murder and aggravated burglary with a deadly weapon. He pleaded not guilty and was released on bond because the judge determined that nothing showed that Justin was like a flight risk or that he was like I don't want to say a menace to society.
He wasn't a flight risk, but he did move away as soon as the police went to talk to him. But he's not a flight risk.
He can say that he separated from his wife and didn't know where else to go or whatever.
Oh my God.
And he wasn't like a danger to the public or some shit. So that's why he was released on bond.
I don't know how I feel about that.
So he pretty much was, there were conditions, of course, like somebody had to supervise him. He was pretty much on house arrest. Now, at first he had pleaded not guilty, but then he changed his mind about going to trial. And he wanted to take a plea deal. They wanted to revisit plea deal.
Okay.
He agreed to plead no contest to attempted first-degree murder and aggravated burglary. No contest is the definition of a plea by which a defendant in a criminal prosecution accepts the conviction but does not admit to the guilt. So it's pretty much saying...
No, I understand what you're saying, but I don't know how that would fit into...
He's saying that I'm not saying I'm guilty, but I understand that if we go to trial, they might find me guilty based on what is presented.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that I'm guilty, but I understand that I could be found guilty at trial. That's no contest. And that's what he pleaded.
Oh, my God.
So... They wanted
pisses me more off.
The prosecutors, Brittany's lawyers and stuff, they like, we need to spare the family and Brittany, you know, the heartache of kind of reliving all of that, you know, because it's a lot of pressure on somebody to relive the trauma and trial. So they accepted the plea deal that he wanted to take the plea, and so did Brittany and stuff.
Oh, Brittany was okay with that. I was about to say, maybe she wanted to go to trial. To trial. Wow.
Trial.
To trial?
Yeah, they were okay with that.
Okay.
At sentencing, prosecutor David Waymeyer was going to argue for the longest sentence possible, which was 18 years. And he brought up like that 3 other women had apparently accused Justin of assault.
Okay.
In the earlier days. Mm-hmm. And Brittany and her family were able to address the judge or, you know, give like victim impact statements about, you know, how it changed Brittany for the rest of her life and her whole ass family. You know, they were just, you know, it just changed their lives for forever. Justin's family also addressed the judge.
Oh my God! What did his mom say?
They described, you know, his mom was like, you know, Justin is like a good dad. You know, he's a good person. He didn't do this. The dad también. You're like, we understand.
I mean, yeah, but you need to, as a parent, like, I'm sorry, but as a parent, like, a lot of the stupid shit that our kids do, we have to admit to saying, okay, yes, my fucking dumbass kid did this. That doesn't mean that defines him as a person. He just made a bad mistake. But I mean, don't be sitting there saying he didn't do it. Bitch, there's 100% match DNA.
And they would ask the mom, like when she was getting interviewed, they would be like, she was like, he didn't do this. And they were like, well, how do you explain his blood at that scene? And they were like, I don't know.
Girl, get out of here with that shit.
Like,
get out of here.
How
the fuck do you just...
A drop of blood.
Yeah.
And on a broken glass window that somebody jumped out of. How do you explain your DNA at the scene? How do you do that? How do you explain that away? You can't unless you were there. You were there, right?
That's the only way. Unless you were there or you lived at that place, that's the only. Not even, because there's no reason why it was a broken glass when there was an intruder there. The intruder broke the glass.
Yes.
So then that's how the blood got there.
He cut himself.
Yeah.
So Judge Cindy Leos.
No, you didn't say Judge Judy.
I'm sorry.
That's what I called you last night. Did you see my text? I was like, what are you, Judge Judy now? Pinche, ¿cómo se llama la caso cerrado? Judge Judy.
Judge Cindy Leos sentenced Justin to the maximum of 18 years.
You know what? I like Miss Judy. I mean, Miss Cindy. Oh, I like Miss Cindy. She, you know what? She has it.
So Brittany,
knows.
they finally, it's done. We can really put this behind us and just move forward now. After almost 10 years. It was 9 years.
Wow.
9 years.
That is crazy. That is fucking crazy.
And then apparently in August of 2018, an investigation was opened into Justin for sexual assault of a minor.
What?
That happened prior to him being arrested and stuff, but it was not made public.
But did he ever, my question is, did he ever say why he did it?
That's the thing. They think the theory is that because I didn't say this, but Justin's phone number was found in Brittany's phone.
Okay.
They hadn't been there wasn't thread or a text message thread or anything
maybe
like that.
Maybe he gave her her number, here's my number, you want to chill or whatever.
But they think that. And apparently it was reported that he had a thing for younger girls because Brittany was, I think at the time of this, she was 27, 28, and he was 34. So he was a good 6-7 years older than her.
Yeah, I thought you had said 5, but yeah.
Over 5.
Over 5, yeah.
So
then let's say that Brittany was 16, por decir, when she started working, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. She was 22, 23.
Yeah, I'm he knows better.
Yeah,
that's a fucking child.
That's a child. But it sounds like he probably wanted to fit in and be a little bit.
No, the theory is that he tried to get with Brittany. And she was dating somebody, and he wasn't used to getting turned down. So
because he had his spiky hair and his Hollister shirt?
Tight shirt, yeah. And that maybe that's what spurred it, brought on the attack. I don't know.
I just don't understand.
Men feel so fucking entitled, bro.
Yeah, no means no, bitch.
If I say no, leave me
alone. I don't want to. I don't understand why. And it happens every day. Sadly, we're still in 2023 and it still happens. But,
Same shit, different year.
Yes, exactly. But I'm just bring it because apparently going back, I know this is dumb, but going back to the Idaho murders, the reason that the guy was upset was because the girls didn't want to be with him. It's allegedly, or the guy that allegedly killed the ladies. But it's dude, no means no. Can you get over it?
Get a hobby, bitch.
Yeah, but jalatela way. Do something else. What the fuck?
Yeah.
For real. It's so stupid to me. But so then that's the reason that
that's the theory.
Okay. That's because I'm I know that, but I think that also se metió allí también para hacer ambergadas because, he was around stealing stuff. So maybe he had gone in there too. I mean, I don't know if maybe that was just his thing.
His vibe.
Stealing. But my deal is how did he know where she lived? But you said that she went from there to meet her mom. So maybe he followed her.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was in there?
No, or maybe he knew. I mean, that's thing. They knew of each other. They ran in the same circles. Their sisters knew of each other.
Or maybe también they knew, maybe, como dices tú, maybe they already before, seguido or something. I never know.
I mean, she had his phone number in her phone. So maybe they talked here and there, but nothing more than that. Pero,
Y luego le dijo a la mamá que también le iba a matar.
Yeah. Pinche viejo.
Pinche estúpido.
And I think that's what they say, que si Diane hubiera llegado, he would have killed her.
Oh,
he would have killed Brittany.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, and he probably didn't expect Miss Diane to show up.
Por eso he got kind of flustered or shoveled. He jumped. Wow.
He got shoveled.
He got disheveled. He got disheveled. ¿Cómo se dice? Disheveled. Y luego he jumped through the window.
Yeah.
Es que whenever I'm cuando quiero hablar inglés así chido, se te
bola la chapeta.
Pero anyway, so
now during the Dateline episode and stuff, up to that point, Brittany, she was saying she wanted to go back to school because I told her she got her degree in communications, but she wanted to go back to school and get an actual degree in journalism.
Nice.
And she said that she was going to, she wanted to. And up to that point, she had already gone through 22 surgeries.
Ay, madre mía.
And she wanted, and they said this wasn't necessary, but she was going to have another surgery. So it would have been her 23rd surgery because she wanted to get her smile back.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is so sad.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure she did because she went through and it would have been like...
I mean, the pictures that I saw, she was smiling already.
Yeah.
Pero she, on one side, como
you
can tell. Pero, I mean, I think that it just has to do with her.
I mean, but you saw her previous smile before her accident.
She had a big smile. Yeah. She was...
And también they were saying that she couldn't, and I'm sure it's probably her left side, but she couldn't cry from one eye because of what happened to her. I'm like, bro, that's fucking insane.
Do you imagine? And just because...
But she overcame a lot. Like, she graduated from college.
Dude,
after they thought that she wasn't gonna live.
People that don't even have like fucking mental, or not mental, but don't even have any, what is it called, like something happened to them, they don't even graduate college.
Yeah.
So,
and her, when she was like, when they moved to Texas, that she was at the rehab center, her Dr. Wright, when she was talking about her, how far she came along, dude, she started crying. She was like, I can't, it's just insane how you saw her come in. She was like, she would just cry, she couldn't do anything on her own. She would read Dr. Seuss's books. She was like, it was like I had a toddler all over. She was a toddler all over again. She was like, she had to have somebody shower her.
The willingness of wanting to overcome that. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot, because there has been a lot of cases where people just let themselves go and they're like, I don't care anymore.
But she also had like a really good support system, and
that
stuff.
makes a big difference. Her mom was there, her sisters, whatever, and I'm pretty sure her dad.
Yeah,
but it's just crazy to me to see that this young bright woman went through all of this just because a stupid idiot. I mean, no tenía ni razón.
And when he always maintained his innocence, he always said that he didn't do it. But dude, how do you...
No, but the thing is, think about it. He never had to actually have a responsibility for something he did. His mom always fixed everything. Yeah. So then in his mind, his mom was like, okay, you didn't do it. It's done. Oh, you never did that. So in his mind, his parents probably even thought that. Yeah. You didn't do it. And it doesn't work that way. He fucking did it.
You can explain his DNA at the crime scene. I mean, how do you explain that away? Like, we just said that. But that's the case of Miss Queen Brittani Marcell.
No, she is the
bad bitch
vibes big time. I pay my respects to her. No joke.
She's great, doing awesome, driving and stuff.
Everything. She deserves everything in the world. Yeah. I hope that she is able to move on and get herself a husband, maybe have a family.
That's what she wants to do,
and that's awesome for her. And you know what? Thank you, Stella, because that one just pissed me the fuck off today. Thank you.
But science is awesome.
Yeah, I mean
science. I believe in
because I believe in the science.
That was my ankle. Sorry if you heard that.
What the fuck? So we're falling apart. We're falling apart.
Yeah, it's almost lunchtime.
We've been here a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not hungry. We just ate breakfast. But anyway, so thank you so much for listening. Once again, thank you to Ms. Rochelle for her sponsoring our Cafe. And we hope to hear from anybody. Thank you for her as well, because she is one of the ones that would interact with us on Instagram. So you can find us on Instagram at
Cafecito and Crime Pod.
Or you can send us an email at
cafecitoandcrimepod@gmail.com.
I love, you know what? Before we leave, I love the way that in Spanish you say at.
How do you say
arroba?
Arroba.
Isn't that cool?
Sí, arroba.com.
Yeah, so it's like Cafecito and Crime
Pod
arroba.com. That is so fucking cool. But anyway, so thank you everybody for your support again.
For listening.
And thank you for listening. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your
day or week or whatever, whenever you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Okay, muchas gracias.
Bye.